Okay, halfway through this project on the corner piece, and I'll have a look at all the dirties of the workshop area. It's amazing the amount of stuff that you need to make one of these scenes. So I've got flocks, I've got various scatters, dark green and burnt green, and of course a blend. Glues, spray glues, wet water, foliage, trees. I've got about a dozen different bags. Some are just I collect sawdust, for instance, for scatter. Different types of sawdust. There was a skipper, and I just got some sand, which is very useful as well. And of course you've got your static grass in your applicator thingamajig. It's just junk everywhere when you're making one of these things. Just collect everything within reach, so that as soon as I have an idea in my head, I can grab whatever I need to make that little area. This is what I do the road striping with, which is, let me see if I can zoom in on the road there. So I've been doing a little bit of road work. Let me just zoom in there. Yeah. There you can see the stripes on the side of the country lane. This is very good stuff from Wordsworth Model Railway. He does, so you can print out car parks and circles and everything. And I'm just cutting these pieces, which I've blended some grey to almost match exactly the colour of the paper. So I can just stick these on as a stripe. Don't have to stripe them, I can just touch them up a little bit. That's the way I do striping on the roads. And this area, I've decided at the back here, this will be arable land. I'll use my coffee grinds over the top of this so it would look like a ploughed field. And that should, for the most part, complete. I quite like the fact that you can see a little bit of height, giving it a little bit of depth. May add a couple more trees. And the reason I've been working now for a couple of months on both the seaport area in that corner and covering up and making most of the scenery of the helix in this corner is that I needed to finish these two corner sections, because I have the upper level of the layout to go in on top. And once that goes in, getting into the corners will be a little more difficult. So that's why I've been working to get these two corner scenic areas out of the way, so I can finally build the upper level, or start building the upper level along here to meet up with the area over there that I'd completed, the top of the helix, so that I could finally again have a train running around and up over the top level as well. Okay, another day or two's progress. It's starting to look like something. I'm actually quite quite pleased with it. Don't get ahead of yourself, Robert. Let's have a bit of a look. Tunnels, weathered up a little. Another feature, the boys from the farm up there had a bit of a wild evening and decided to trash a Mercedes. So that's starting to rust in the field there, being covered by grass. So I just thought I'd add that to the scene. So, another day, And a little bit further progress. Oh yeah, just going to explain how I was going to lift this whole thing up. These two retaining walls, I think I'll have removable. So there's that one, and then there's this one here, which I have to work into the scene further, but from the opening, I can get under the board and lift the whole thing out from those two openings. Alright, next phase. The trick is now to try and blend this lift out area into the fixed area so that there aren't any cracks and seams where it lifts out. I'm doing most of that with the retaining wall here. Part of the retaining wall, this retaining wall is fixed in place onto the lift out section. And this retaining wall, and I've added some buttresses to give it a bit of life. This section will lift out so that I can, for lifting up the whole area, I can get my hand under here and lift out the whole area. Road, I need to paint in a little bit of here just to cover that. But that now is roughly how it's going to be. Okay, we're going to try and lift out this section now. So I'll take the retaining wall away here, take the retaining wall away here, leaving two openings where I can get my hands in. Now let's see if we can just lift it out. A little bit of glue here and there. So I just need to. And this is all live, so you can see what's happening. Where I've glued retaining wall, I just need to. Probably some drops fell down. I just need to cut that. Let's see if we can lift it up now. That's all free. I think that's all free now, so let's see. Alright, at least it's come out, which was the idea. Let's see how much damage we've made. Alright, we're going to try and put it back in. This is this is a minute or so later. So, put the whole section back in again. Let's see if that works. So a lot more bits and pieces attached now. Oh, there we are. The retaining wall's back in. Of course, he's not of course finished yet, but it gives the idea. Alright then, we're getting to the 90 or 92.5% completed portion, meaning basically most of the real work's done, and we've got that last few percent, which takes all the time in the world. All those details, things like street lighting, some more road markings. Maybe I think I might have a bus stop here with a shelter. Road things like rubbish bins and extra road markings, etc. But for purposes of what most people see, except of course you terrific modelers, I think something like that, we're sort of more or less got most of it done now. So then the retaining walls have added some features to the retaining walls here. A bit of grassy bushes at the rear at the bottom to sort of blend in with the scenery like that. A retaining wall which you can just move into place like so. At the road later, the bridge will come at a later time. So I've got the retaining wall now starting to blend in here as well. I still need a little bit more work done. Thinking at the bottom here. I'm thinking I've ordered some decals, or as they call them this side of the ocean, transfers. In Nederland stickers. Is some graffiti transfers. So I think I'll have a graffiti transfer added here just to add a little bit of life to the retaining wall. So it's become quite a project, and I think it's probably about as much as I'll do. Well, there's one little pièce de résistance that I'd like to show before sort of close off this project, bar all the nitty-gritty details. Okay, a detail, a road sign. I'll show a picture of the prototype. This is the type of sign that was seen in country areas up until mid-60s, late 60s, when they were replaced by more modern type signs. But I'll show a picture of the prototype. And ta-da! Since we have a split in the road, this will go, oh yeah, here. Can you see it? My road sign. I think it's my first ever road sign. So I can zoom in on it. So the cars know where they're going, where that country lane goes to. It's about as detailed as I'm going to get for a while, I think, on this. I'm a little sick of it, so I'm going to head off with something else. And just to finish this little project scene, I think we'll just have a train. We'll have a train running by, going into the tunnel entrance, as sort of a sign off on this project. We'll have a yard transfer train run by. It'll go into the tunnel and then after a while come back out again. I'll explain in vlog 30. I've made an explanation of the layout, what I'm trying to do, model here, what it represents and how it will operate. That'll be in vlog 30. But this is coming from Kaifuk Yard, and we'll head toward Venlo Yard. Now I've got the onboard camera as well, so we can have a look at some onboard pictures as well. It'll give you the route of the yard transfer train. The route of the yard transfer train. and should appear in a moment. Slow down a little for the entry into the station area. Alright, project covering Helix 92.5% complete.